are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for agreeing to the pre-conference.
Yeah.
I have a few questions for you. You shared with me your problem of practice
Yes.
around making the coaching stick with some teachers, making your feedback stick for them. So I have prepared some questions to ask just to get us thinking around that topic.
Okay.
How was the need that the teacher had communicated to you? Or was it through your observations, or did they come to you?
Initially, the coaching started with just things that I had seen in the classroom through observation. And then the concern that I expressed to you was strictly through observation.
Gotcha. How were your suggestions delivered to the teachers?
So we have a pre-conference before I go in and observe and just talk about things that, well, we have had an observation. And then I have a pre-conference and say, here are some things I've noticed. What are some things you would like to work on? And we pick one or two things, and then I go in and observe. And then we have a post-conference, and then I give feedback. And if necessary, I'll go in and co-teach or model, things like that. So from that, then I'll go back and observe again once that's been done and see if they are following up. I'll give them a timeline saying, okay, I'm going to come back in a week and I want to see XYZ in practice. And then I go in and observe and then give feedback again, full coaching cycle.
And the cycle continues, right?
Cycle continues, exactly.
Okay. Why do you think teachers aren't able to make your feedback stick? And I know it's not all of your teachers.
Oh, no, not all.
Only like maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, I would say really 1 or 2.
Okay, 1 or 2.
That I'm possibly 3. Sometimes my third one follows it. And so my struggle is one in particular. I've coached and modeled and co-taught, and I go in and I see the same basic problems. I've even had other teachers sent this particular teacher to go watch other teachers, look at how specifically organization and picking up the pace of the teaching, just some basic things. And we're still 3 years into coaching, and I'm not seeing a lot of, I'm seeing improvement. It is much better than it was, but I need it to be more. And then another teacher just kind of shuts down, she comes at me rather than receiving feedback very well. So I struggle with those things.
Right. And I understand that because I've been in your shoes before and sometimes you just feel like throwing your hands up and going, okay, I've done all I can do. But,
and then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is for the kids. So
that's right.
Keep going.
That's why you want them to get it fixed fast because of the children. Yes.
Yeah, we don't have time to waste.
Okay, so why do you think, let's just think about that one particular teacher that you were talking about. Why do you think that she's not able to make it stick in her classroom or transfer it into her practice?
For her, it's a lack of organization. And this is where I struggle because we've said it, and it's not only I have said it, our admin have said things to help her get better faster. Other teachers have modeled, other teachers have come in and helped her organize, and she's just not able to keep it that way.
Wow.
Which is affecting, that's a downward spiral if you can't keep it together like that. Again, big improvement from when we started, but it's just not to the level it should be at this point.
Got you. Okay, so do you think that she has some potential barriers, maybe personal life or
there's some health issues, and I'm just going to be honest, some people just, like in your own home, some people just don't see it. They just don't see it. So people just have to say, that's a mess. You need to pick that up. Like with my own personal children. Do you see that on the floor? Pick that up.
Yeah.
Put that over there. This teacher almost needs that step by step.
Gotcha. So how are you thinking that you will deliver feedback? Do you have any ideas about another way to deliver feedback that maybe she would be more receptive of?
Um, I think what I just said, I may just have to go in and say, again, I mean, I've said it. That's why I'm so frustrated with this particular teacher. I've said, your reading table is a messy place. You need, and I know, I mean, I've had piles over here. You see that shelf right back there? That's a big mess. I know that. Don't look away. Don't look.
That's not a big mess to me.
But, I know we get busy and, things get stacked up, but it can't be that that's your work, that's your teaching space, your small group table, and it's just covered every time I go in there, which is often.
Which means it's probably not being used for small group teaching.
I go in, and if I model, I just go in and move things off the table and just stack it over. I thought, I hope that wasn't in any order because I can't teach like this. So I move it and I'll say, you've got to keep this area clear when you're having students. This is your workspace, and this is very distracting for little people.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because we have some ADHD going on and, little things like that. So I don't know. I'm very welcome and very open to suggestions of how to give her more feedback.
So I've thought about this, and I wonder if it might help if she could see the advantages of the way the classroom flows when she has things more organized, as opposed to when she lets it get out of hand.
Right.
So I wonder if you spoke with her about being able to does she ever complain about not having time to do this or time to do that with instruction?
I'm sorry to interrupt.
It's okay. I was just saying, has she ever complained about not having the time to accomplish what she wants to during instruction?
Yes. And she'll say that in collaborative planning, and her team looks at her like, what? So, I mean, the team is aware, we're aware. And so, and I'll say gently, I mean, I don't want to put her on the spot, but I'll say, it takes planning to be organized. It takes time. And I know, and like you said, in her personal life, she has things going on to get to after school. And she does sometimes come up on a weekend and just try to get things a little more organized. But it just doesn't seem to be the want to is there. She wants to very much. I don't even know. I mean, I've told her point blank, pick that up, put it over there.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, I've
also videoed her and shown her, her room, just not like without her there, videoed her teaching. And in the periphery, you see just the unorganized piles of things. And then as she's teaching, we can't find pencils. We can't find markers. I've misplaced my book. And I told her, I said, this can't happen. Your kids get derailed. This is when the behaviors start because you're not ready. You're wasting time. So, yeah.
I wonder if I've thought about different ways to approach this. I wonder if we had her set a timer, and stick to a strict schedule.
Yes. She does timers.
That way, maybe she would realize that it's taken a lot of time when you're not organized, and maybe she would stay organized. Yes. Would that be something that you might?
Absolutely. That's a great one. Yes.
Okay. Well, I wanted to say how much I enjoy our relationship, Miss May. You are just a delight to work alongside. So I wanted to express that before we end our call. If you don't mind trying that with the timer with her, and then let's visit it again and see if it made a difference.
Okay, let's do that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to see you.
You too. Bye-bye.